really supremely important topic. I think all of us on this panel were horrified to see what happened on our campuses and what happened in many other public spaces in the wake of October 7th. I have visited Israel numerous times since October 7th, but one of the memories that is seared in my mind is a conversation in the War Cabinet with Prime Minister Netanyahu and a number of the other ministers shortly after October 7th, and they played the videos. Some of it has now become public. Then it was not, and some of what we saw has not been made public, but it was the most stomach-turning, absolutely sickening pictures that I've ever seen. And one of the ministers said, pointing to the video, you know, throughout our history, the Jewish people have had to run and hide. Israel was supposed to be a place where we no longer had to run and hide. These people tried to run and hide. We cannot tolerate this anymore. And I think someone understanding that view can also understand why the violence, the threats of violence, the taunts and other stuff that occurred on campuses and throughout the world after October 7th raised such fears among the people who were targets of it. And so I thank you for being here today to talk intelligently and objectively, as dispassionately as anyone can, about this issue and what we can do in a legal sense, preserving the First Amendment, the right of free expression, and hopefully doing it in a way, as we've always done, to allocate time, place, and manner restrictions that make sense on college campuses, just as they would in the public square. And I think it is a continuing conversation that we're going to have to pursue on the definition, for example, of anti-Semitism. I'm not sure we have exactly the right answer, but I think that we need to talk in good faith among ourselves about what the right answer is. I'm an enforcer by training and by career. I'm a prosecutor. I did it as United States Attorney, the Chief Federal Prosecutor in Connecticut for 4.5 years. I did it as Attorney General of Connecticut for 20 years. So for me, enforcement of civil rights, to protect civil rights, is very, very important. And I'm very deeply troubled by the plan to dismantle the Office of Civil Rights in the Department of Education, which the new secretary has said she will do. She's going to dismantle the whole Department of Education. But the Office of Civil Rights, definitely, she's said, should no longer exist. If anyone here is in favor of dismantling the Office of Civil Rights, I'd like to hear you tell me why you should. And Mr. Rachlan, I know in your testimony you've strongly supported the continuation of the Office of Civil Rights. Maybe you can begin by telling me why.
The Office for Civil Rights at the Department of Education is, as Ms. Kohab has said as well, one of the avenues for students to actually bring discrimination cases to a head. I think that this office is absolutely critical in being able to do real investigations on what is happening on campus and actually working with school administrators to actually come to a equitable outcome for that. If there is criminal intent, if there is discrimination involved, then I would say that it jumps into discrimination law rather than Department of Education. So I would say, like, in this space, OCR is absolutely vital to the kids that are Jewish, non-Jews, all across the country, to help address those issues.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal.
Thank you.
Senator Britt.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Want to thank Chairman Grassley for calling this hearing. I think it is so important